¿Preparados?
Ya lo has conseguido. Ha visto que eres un puto desastre.
Hacía mucho tiempo que no me sentía tan bien.
¿Y tú a dónde vas?
Fuera. He estado yendo a clases de aerobic. Prueba. Igual te gusta. Con una sola clase ya notarás el cambio. Volverás a ser tú.
¿Cuánto tiempo podremos vivir de ahorros, Todos debemos contribuir.
O sea, lo tienes que hacer tú.
¿Te has planteado contratar a otra?
Si la cagas, se acabó. Rubia de bote.
¡Derecha! Uy, perdón, es vuestra izquierda.
First, I want to say congratulations on the show. I watched all 9 episodes that were given to us, and I just loved it and enjoyed it so much.
Great,
I believe
thank you.
I believe the most surprising aspect of it is Sheila's inner voice from Rose Byrne's character, because you portray so well how it is to live with anxiety and self-hatred. It is so relatable for many of us. So how was the process of getting that voice down on paper?
I'm so glad to hear you say that. That was one of the goals of the show, and initially writing it was to really tell the truth about the difference between who we show ourselves to be on the outside and how so many of us feel on the inside, and the kind of work and pressure it takes to suppress some of that, darker and less appealing, feelings inside of us. And so it was scary to write it at first. I think I was digging into some really, dark and personal territory, that there was a certain kind of fear that this would be alienating to people. But my experience has been the opposite, that when you kind of express the truth about, what you're so ashamed of, it actually connects you to others. And that the kinds of anxiety and insecurity and pain that I was going through really thrives in isolation. And telling the truth about it is really the way out. So it's been a really liberating experience for me.
This is a comedy about a woman who has an eating disorder and whose inner demons are very dark. So I wonder, how difficult was it to get the perfect tone for it?
Well, it was really important to me to convey the experience of an eating disorder in the way that I experience it as a person. So I wanted to tell the emotional truth about it, and I hadn't really seen it represented that way before myself. I hadn't really seen it represented as I experienced it. So all of us are, actress Rose Byrne, the director of the pilot, Craig Gillespie. It was important to all of us to kind of put the audience inside her perspective and experience. So you really do live through the kind of emotional turmoil that she lives through, of hiding this behavior, and then the kind of compulsion to engage in it, even when she knows that she shouldn't. And it feels, I think, for viewers, the way it feels to inhabit that kind of experience, which is to say, it is uncomfortable at times, it is painful at times, and then you really root for her to come through it, to stop turning that rage on herself and to kind of harness it and release it into the world where it belongs. And that's the journey of the show. So I wanted to tell the truth about the struggle, but I also wanted to tell the truth and tell a story of recovery and redemption.
This is a story about empowerment too, but it also feels like Sheila is going to hurt the people around her too, and I find that very interesting. So is physical kind of like Breaking Bad, but with aerobics?
I love that. That is how I feel. I think it is like Breaking Bad with aerobics, because there are so many wonderful, complicated male characters in the cable and streaming space that overcome difficulties and addictions and divided secret lives to find power. And this is a kind of female story, and unapologetically female. In its it inhabits the world of aerobics, but I think it has the same intensity and gravitas, I hope, of something like a Breaking Bad or a Mad Men, and certainly our directors brought that tone and feel to it as well. And they were really on board with giving it that same sense of gravitas and importance.
I'm being told to wrap the interview, so thank you so much for your answers.
Thank you so much for the thoughtful questions. I really appreciate it.
No puedo seguir el ritmo ni integrarme. Sé muy bien cómo te sientes. Podría ir a tu casa y darte clases allí.
¿Existe alguna posibilidad de que no sea mala idea?
No sabes de lo que soy capaz. Habrás construido algo sólido, que sea tuyo.